A recent news article from Italy caught the world's attention with the discovery of a body of a 70-year-old woman who was found on a chair in her living room more than 2 years after her death. The tragic event was described by Italy's Minister for Families as a victim of forgotten loneliness after they found out that she had no surviving relatives. The victim had not been seen by her neighbors for some time, and they had assumed that she had moved due to the pandemic. A journalist that wrote about her death said, "The real sadness is not that the others did not notice her death, it is that they did not realize that she was alive." The report of her death further highlighted that nearly 40% of Italians over the age of 75 live alone. In fact, this is a sad reality of the world we live in today. Many people are dying as victims of forgotten loneliness. This is because as humans, we are wired to be social beings. We live by connecting to each other and find our purpose in life through these connections. In 2012, National Geographic released a study on the science of living longer and found that there are 5 places in the world where people tend to live more than 100 years. These regions were referred to as the blue zones. The research discovered that they tend to belong to faith-based communities, put family first, maintain close long-term relationships, and eat with others daily. This breakthrough in research proves that being socially connected makes a difference to our health. Today, we will be talking to a good friend of mine who is a social worker to tell us more on how being socially connected contributes to our health.
I think there's a very important relationship between the two. In fact, they're so related that one cannot function without the other. If there is no social connectedness, there cannot, full health or well-being cannot exist. And so it's so important to understand this relationship. As human beings, we are social beings. The saying goes that no man is an island, and that's so important because as human beings, we are created, we are wired to be in a relationship with other people.
So how disconnected are we today, do you think, when relating to each other, and what do you think may be the cause of it?
The evolution of technology has somehow contributed to the social disconnect that exists. Although we take pride in technology and stating that technology has brought us together as a global community. But in a sense, at the same time, we are also becoming more and more disconnected with the use of technology. And I think that is one key factor that has contributed to social disconnect. Social disconnect or social isolation can lead to stress. And when there is stress, it has some health implications on individuals. And some of these health issues can be lack of sleep. And if we don't deal with it, it can lead to insomnia, where people do not sleep at all. And then there's hypertension or high blood pressure. And we all know that when there's hypertension, heart attack or cardiac disease is just around the corner somewhere. And so if these things do not, and if there are already existing health problems in a person, self or social isolation, social disconnect can trigger those health issues even more.
So at a practical level, how do we stay socially connected?
I think for us, we have to start, prioritizing things that we believe and things that are of value to us. Just being around your families, if families is what we value, being around them, because we need to also understand that sometimes we can still be around people but still be disconnected. And so it's very important to identify, talk to people, to try and understand if there's a problem with how you relate to people. There's always support around that can help us with that, professional support. The other thing is, just setting boundaries when it comes to one of the issues that I've highlighted earlier is the issue of technology. For families, just to set boundaries when it comes to technology in the home. Have time or spend time, make time with your family members. If you're working as a parent or guardian, coming home, make sure you make time for your children and those around you. Talk to them. At the dinner table, you can ask them to put their phones away and just, talk to each other, ask them about their days. These are some very practical and simple ways we can try to come out of the disconnect. Most importantly, I think for us as individuals, it's so important to be around people who we know that bring us that, positivity and vibe that allows us to be who we are, and also to allow us to express ourselves in a more positive manner. Because I think sometimes we hang around people who don't generate that positive vibe, that sometimes suppresses ourselves as individuals, and we don't become the person that we really are. And so it's very important to surround ourselves in that kind of environment.
Not only that you surround yourself with people that share the same interests as you are, but you can become a positive influence to someone who's socially disconnected and experiencing loneliness. You can become the reason in someone finding his or her purpose in life again. Remember, being socially connected makes a big difference in your health.